Good evening, welcome to the Pearl Report. I'm Diana Lin. This is an unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV, one of the toys of hobbyists that have turned seriously professional. Rising sales of UAVs signal increasing popularity. Producer Renato Reyes examines how these drones are spawning new applications in Hong Kong.
Here we are looking at a multi-copter called a hexacopter with 6 blades. It weighs 6.9 kg with the batteries and a camera. So we'll go for a test flight. My name is Jeffrey Yim. I am an unmanned aircraft pilot for about 6 years now. Before I start the engine, I make sure it's clear. There's no one around, and then I let people know that I'm starting by saying clear prop. I'm lifting off to a height of around 1 meter. I check out the controls. Forward, yes, that's working. Roll left, yes, that's good. And then roll right. That's good. This drone gets all its lift from these motors here. And we have these 15-inch props. There's only one flight battery. You can fly safely for 7 minutes. That's it, 7 minutes.
Jeffrey is also trained to fly a plane, but his passion for flying an aircraft started with drones. Last year, he quit his job as an information technology manager to turn his hobby into a business specializing in aerial cinematography.
How high are we? 45 meters. Okay. I will hold altitude at 45 meters. Commercial projects, not yet. Yeah. I'm still doing a lot of my own show reels now. Camera operator, on. Camera, you have control. I have a camera operator. She will do the controls on the camera. Just pan the camera around. For cinematography, you want it as stable as possible. To be a stable aerial platform to take generally wide shots. We can do follow shots from behind, from in front, from the side.
Aerial photography using UAVs is so new in Hong Kong, very few media production companies are offering it.
There are only a couple of major companies out there. Why not, be a pioneer in Hong Kong? I expect actually demand more for aerial cinematography.
Drones have taken cinematography to new heights.
My name is Richard Kimber. I'm the executive producer of a film company in Hong Kong which offers aerial filming using remote control helicopters. We're often filming in the middle of nowhere. We might be in a desert, in a jungle, down a long river. This is in the middle of the desert, very close to the athletes here. Getting inside a canyon or a gorge area here in China, flying very low across the water. Here we're flying very low across the ground at a movie set. We've been making adventure films for 4 or 5 years, and 2 years ago we started for the first time to use remote control aircraft. This is a mid-range aircraft. This one has 6 rotors. Well, the big benefit for the drones is we can take them anywhere, so you can pack them into a case, and also it's the cost. It's much more affordable than hiring a helicopter, which you might only have for 1 or 2 hours. So it gives you more flexibility to get exactly what you want, basically, knowing that you can take off and land from pretty much anywhere.
30–40% the cost of a helicopter shot. There is a helicopter services company here in Hong Kong, and I think their rack rate is around 20,000 an hour.
We filmed in Chongqing.
Richard's clients in Hong Kong include property developers and movie makers.
The small white four-rotor aircraft, we can operate at around 15 to 20,000 Hong Kong dollars a day. The bigger aircraft, the six-rotor aircraft with a DSLR camera, is around 40,000 Hong Kong dollars a day. And we can do a 5D DSLR camera at around $55,000 a day.
Unmanned aerial vehicles have come a long way since they started out as toys. A decade ago, they cost up to $50,000 to build. That is until technology matured, thanks to smartphones.
This is one of our research and development facilities.
Toby works for the biggest maker of remote-controlled toy products in Hong Kong.
The drone technology comes predominantly from the proliferation of cell phone technologies.
Technology that miniaturized the drone's electronic flight controller and all the gizmos in it.
On the green board, you would have various accelerometers, you'd have gyroscopes. If the drone or the quadcopter tipped to the side, the accelerometer would feel the difference and it would compensate by increasing power to this end and decreasing power to this end and keeping it level. They went from being about that big to being the size of a pinhead. When this board hit, it was taking a $2,000 technology and shrinking it down to about a $20 or $30 technology. So cheap and so mass-produced that people started eventually putting those into the drones. What we sell the most of would probably be your entry-level stuff, which would be about $400 US. Yeah.
Quadcopters, is it?
Quadcopters, that's right, yeah.
1/5 of what it cost 3 to 4 years ago. Our customers are sort of generally male. They don't consider them toys. It's a hobby. It's becoming a bigger and bigger market. Year on year, it's doubled almost.
A potential niche market big enough for this IT school to start the first such course in Hong Kong on aerial photography. Around 400, mostly men, showed up for a seminar on the course that started this March. The $9,000 program provides students a drone each with camera plus 30 hours of training on video editing to flying drones.
We expect around 3,000 within a year. We already have 4 classes already and it's almost full.
In this school, I'm a tutor of the course, teaching them how to control, how to take off, how to land, and how to maintain the aircraft. We are in the Kam Shan Country Park. It is a lot of open space for you to fly and practice.
Under Hong Kong regulations, hobbyists don't need a flying permit if their drones are below 6 kilograms. But they must fly the UAV within eyesight in open space, and only up to 300 feet, provided they don't endanger people and property. And stay away from urban centres, airports, telepads, Victoria Harbour and other restricted areas.
This one is around 4 kilos.
The school's drones are all below 7 kilograms. Anything above that weight needs a flying permit from the Civil Aviation Department, whose job is to ensure air safety.
Because the fall could kill someone if it is falling from 200-300 feet to ground level.
Up to this March, the CAD processed 26 applications to fly drones above 7 kilograms.
They're not exactly filing a flight plan as a 747, but they have to notify Civil Aviation Department on their routes and operating areas and the time and all those details.
Drones are getting smarter. They do more than filming.
Typically for a large survey area, we usually use UAV.
The government's unmanned aerial system deploys 2 types of UAVs for land surveying, a fixed wing and a rotary drone.
This is Anderson Road Quarry. So up at the summer open area is around 45 hectares, around 60 standard football field.
20 hectares of the quarry is to be turned into land for housing, community centres and open space. Conventional land surveys of this site would take 2.5 weeks to finish.
But for UAV, it only takes 2.5 days for the field work.
And it does the job on its own, on autopilot, without being manually controlled.
He already defined a flight plan for a small block. It will take 6 minutes.
The ground station can program the drone to follow a predetermined flight path guided by its GPS or global positioning system. Flying parameters are transmitted wirelessly from a computer to the drone. Where to fly, how high or low, for how many loops.
It's cheaper, fast and effective. It also gives comparable accuracy.
Footage and pictures of sites are rendered in 3D. Plus, drones spare surveyors the risks of surveying disaster areas.
Just after the landslide, the mud is wet and sometimes rock is falling, so it's dangerous to climb up to the slope. And because in some steep slopes, it's impossible to get access to that. So we use drones.
But there's a downside to drones that bedevils every new gizmo: battery power.
For fixed wing, it will stay about half hour, and for rotary, it's about 10 to 15 minutes. Right.
It depends on the size of the drone and what kind of weight you carry. Most drones last between 10 and 15 minutes, so that's not very long, right? You would have to fly around, and then if you want to fly longer, you have to get back, swap the battery, and then you can fly again.
A battery icon on the console tells the pilot how much power is left. If the battery runs out in mid-air, the UAV's safety mechanism kicks in.
The aircraft will just land itself in a controlled manner.
Up next, after the break, why a budding drone industry wants more regulations.
The main concern is safety.
There's lots and lots of new operators coming on board all the time. Many of them are not professional. I'd be in favour of more regulations.
Maybe a private pilot's license.
Big issue, the privacy issue. Because once you have a drone, you can go anywhere.
The day may come that we need licensing.
Stay with us.